My name is Jill Hughes, and I'm one of the captains of the schooner Roseway. I'm also the port captain, so work for the organization year-round. The schooner Roseway was launched in 1925. She was built in Essex, Massachusetts, to be built to be a yacht and also a fishing schooner. Most of the fishing she did was for swordfish. Later in her life, she became a pilot schooner in Boston Harbor. She did that until the 1970s and was the last actively sailing pilot schooner in the country. In the early 2000s, a significant rebuild was had of the vessel, and she changed ownership to World Ocean School, where she's been operating ever since.
In the beginning, when boarding the Roseway, I was nervous. I only knew one person here, so I was kind of scared not being able to fit in. I was scared to leave home for the first time.
I was very nervous before I arrived at the Portland airport, and I didn't know how things were going to go, but luckily things ended up being a lot easier than I thought, and Roseway definitely helped with that.
I'm from North Carolina, so I was a little nervous about flying into Boston.
They made sure someone was there for me at the airport when I arrived in Boston, and it honestly just made everything a lot less stressful.
I definitely felt like I was taken care of.
I was nervous my first time, but the nervousness turns into happiness. You'll have everybody will be friends by the end. So you'll be happy instead of nervous.
Now, I feel like we're all comfortable. I feel great. I feel happy. Most importantly, I feel calm. I'm not nervous. It's a really calming experience once you finally get to know everyone.
Typical day, students wake up at 7.
First bit is, regular kind of wake up stuff, brush your teeth, brush your hair and stuff like that. And then usually we have some sort of chore to do. The main one is we'll do deck wash, which is where we wash the deck, and
we do brass, we make everything look nice, we coil all the lines, and we have people write a ship's log to tell family and friends at home what's going on. And then we also have people clean both heads on board, fish and the main head.
And then we usually have breakfast, which is made by our cook Jake, and he's lovely.
We cook 3 meals a day aboard the schooner Roseway, one at 8 a.m., noon, and 6 p.m. We try to provide as many fruits and vegetables as possible. We are highly sensitive to folks' food allergies. We provide options to provide them a healthy, wholesome meal aboard. We also offer vegetarian and vegan options. I do cook every meal. Sometimes I'll have a student help me out, but I am cooking every meal aboard the boat.
After every meal, a wash does the dishes.
Somebody say apple bottom, you say jeans and pull as hard as you can. Apple bottom.
Jeans.
Apple bottom.
Jeans.
Apple bottom.
Jeans.
2 steps forward.
2 steps.
We put up sail, and while we're sailing, we kind of go through rotations. These rotations are active watch, so during active watch you can really learn how the boat goes while sailing. My favorite part of active watch is being on the helm, so students get an opportunity to drive the Roseway and steer it.
They also get time to rest and relax and hang out with their friends. And they also get time to do specific lessons on knot tying and pins.
Wind and navigation. We've had one on how the engine works. We've had one on marine life, on whales and sharks.
And we have all hands lunch all together. We're all about having our meals together. It's good quality time for all the crew and the students, and everybody gets to know each other. And then after lunch, we will go back into rotations, most likely until it's time for dinner. We'll drop anchor. After dinner, more chores. There's always a lot of chores to do. Again, we wash some more soles, the floor. People do dinner cleanup, and we write a ship's log so families at home can read what everybody's been doing for the day.
After that, we have our evening muster, and we do some kind of fun activity that I always like, and then we go to bed after a long day.
10 o'clock is bedtime, and then usually we have watch hours that cycle through 3 of them, and then we progressively wake up and do a variety of boat checks late at night.
The kids often have anchor watch, so we also cook up mid-rats or midnight rations. So every night there's usually a treat of some sort, often pulling through from food history. So we recently had an interesting molasses cake from Northern England. We had a plum cake one night. So usually when they wake up in the middle of the night, there's something very interesting to sample from.
At night, I sleep in the fish, which is below deck. We're all closely packed, but we clean the fish every day, and we make it a place where we can live and be together.
There's always crew members that are in the fish with them as well. It's not just students in there. Both the fish and the forecastle are bunk bed style, so students are in lower and top bunks, just like the crew. We all sleep in the same kind of compartments, but everybody has their own curtain, their own light, their own fan. That is their personal space, their bunk.
Can I grab this? Yep. Can I grab these? Yes. Can I grab this? No. Can I grab these? No. So you can only grab the vertical metal. That's how I like to remember it.
Safety is always our top priority. We take a lot of precautions on board, both as crew to do crew training before the students get here, and then we do safety training with the students when they get here as well. So we have all the regular safety equipment that a passenger vessel would have, but then the first 2 days of the voyage are really dedicated to walking the students through those safety systems and orientations and teaching them the responses of what they would do in an emergency and also how to keep themselves safe on board.
Roseway, it's run exclusively with students.
For parents that are worried, I'd say don't be. Roseway, they got a big crew. The crew really cares about the students. They make sure they're okay, we're all safe.
It is a very safe and controlled environment. Safety is of utmost importance to the crew. We're not allowed to get into situations that would be slightly dangerous.
The ship, she is very strong, and the crew are also very strong.
The crew is professional. Everybody has done this. We do this every day, all day, every day. It's our job. Captains have been doing this for a long time. They come back every year to do the same program, so they know the boat really well, they know these programs really well, and they're experts in their field.
Where it went to, Lord, I can't remember.
People who live on boats are very much themselves. They're very authentic people, and I think when students come on Roseway, they feel like they're given permission to do the same for themselves. They're outside of their normal environments, feel a little kooky crazy because you're on the ocean, and people are usually just really comfortable and genuine, and I think that comes out on the Roseway.
I really enjoy going on shore, doing group activities and stuff like that. It can be really enjoyable, and you get to get a real connection with a lot of the people on here because you're staying with them all the time. You can gain some really good friends really quickly there.
Everyone's just really kind to me, and I feel like I'm able to discuss and get to know people and share my inner self to others without being judged, and it's just a lot different than kind of my school and everything because I feel really welcome.
Trust is one of these concepts that's especially important not only in life but on Roseway when you're sailing on Roseway, and this goes hand in hand with the teamwork that's also important on Roseway, that you have to work as a team. You can't sail a boat, especially a boat that's 120-something feet long, without teamwork, without trust, because you need everybody to work together. You need to have that teamwork.
I think it's super special that we're able to host students of all different abilities, and everyone's able to have an enriching experience no matter who you are and where you come from.
Very quickly, I've gained some really good friends that I think I might stick with for life, even from the situation, because you spend so much time with them that you just get to know them so easily, even if you're not particularly friends with them.
It is a very strong community on the boat. I mean, we live and work together even when students aren't on board. You know, one of our values is that everybody on board feels like they belong, so that's really important. We talk about that on the first day, that all students should create an environment for the others that makes sure that everybody feels as though they belong and they're part of the boat and they're part of the crew. We want to foster an environment of community and belonging and make sure that everybody feels as though they have a space here.
The crew, they create an environment where we're able to ask for help. We don't have to worry about any judgment. And then with my peers, we're all trying to get better. We're all trying to learn in a way that helps us.
Being on the Roseway made me feel happy and enjoying it. Not being a part of social media for a little bit. It made me more interested in boating and marine biology, the ocean and this different sea animals.
Being on the Roseway made me feel challenged, but it also made me feel really happy because it's not what I'm used to at all. It makes me feel really accomplished.
Being on the Roseway makes me feel very kind of in my element, you know, in my community. I feel like I'm with people that really want to understand me as a person, that, you know, aren't just like camp counselors that are there to just move things along. So you feel very taken care of, you feel safe.
What I learned about myself here on the Roseway is how drawn I am to the water. I never really experienced something like that.
I'm a lot more physically capable than I think I am. It just takes a bit for me to actually be able to do it.
Roseway is actually the reason I found out I can swim. I was always afraid to try, but here I am surrounded by water. You gotta try at some point.
A lot of people on this boat have some kind of previous activity into boating. They, have a family boat, or, they live near the coast. And it's like, I've lived near the coast my entire life, but I've never really done boating activities before. So I've gained a kind of insight into an entire new culture that I wasn't really previously aware of. My interest is rather piqued by that culture, and I find it to be very interesting.
Oh, I love the Roseway. It's amazing. I love everything we've done.
It's a great place to send your kids because it's life skills that we learn here that every kid should learn, I feel like.
Oh, I'm gonna miss you. By the end, you don't want to leave. When it's time to pack, it's you don't want to leave because you've made so many new friends and you love it. Being on the boat. I think everybody has sad feelings when they have to leave and go home.
It makes me a better person at home. I felt like just appreciating the people there for me, doing more for my house. I learned so much about how to clean, really, how to take care of the place I'm living because it's really important.
This is a really great opportunity to push the boundaries of students' comfort zones and to show them that this is a really big undertaking that they are absolutely capable of doing.
It is a big deal coming onto a ship, going to potentially a very new place, coming on with people that you probably have never met before. They're going to meet some amazing people, see amazing places, and experience so many incredible things, and might even find things out about themselves that they didn't know before.
Roseway is a great experience, and you should send your kids on here because it allows them to grow as a person, meet new people, and gain a lovely new experience of the ocean.
If you're scared about bringing your kid because you're scared that they won't take care of them, they definitely will.